Are you a fan of shopping? I mean, us too. But today we want to talk about something else. You might have heard of this place, or this place, or this place, or this place. Now, these are all examples of fast fashion. Now, generally, fast fashion refers to the mass production of cheap, stylish clothes that often result in significant environmental and labor issues.
Especially in the last few decades, we've started to see fashion trends change quickly. With this comes high demand to buy large amounts of clothes at cheaper prices so consumers can follow these trends. We've broken down the effects of fast fashion for you into our acronym WARN. W stands for Workers' Treatment. A majority of clothing is produced in places where workers are overworked and underpaid. For many companies, profit made from the clothing produced is more important than human welfare and treatment. A stands for Animals and Climate Change. The fashion industry is within the top 3 polluting industries in the world. This results from the industry's immense water consumption and the use of damaging chemicals and fibers that take hundreds of years to biodegrade. R stands for Rapid Buying Consumers. This ties back in with the growing need to stay on fashion trends at an affordable price. Every year, on social media and within companies, new trends create a desire among consumers for new clothing. N stands for the number of large companies. Here's where the cycle continues. Rather than reusing discarded clothing or slowing down the cycle of trends, companies produce even more. The type of fashion that perpetuates these unacceptable effects is dubbed fast fashion, reflecting the cheap, poor quality clothing that is produced quickly and in bulk.
All right, so we have a person who's aware of the detrimental effects of fast fashion on our environment and community, yet they still choose to shop at these stores. If this sounds like you, then you should feel terrible about yourself. You don't care about the environment or social justice. Oh my god. We're kidding. Sometimes taking that deal at the nearest store does sound like the easiest and most convenient option, so we don't blame you. So what's the secret then? How do we find it in ourselves to invest in more sustainable clothing even if it's not the most convenient for us? Let's chat with someone special to find out.
Hi, I'm Rachel Heilman. I have a degree in psychology and I also teach AP psychology at Issaquah High School in Issaquah, Washington.
What can we do to prevent these kind of decisions from being made even though they don't benefit us?
That's an especially difficult question because, of course, they do benefit us, right? Like we get cheap clothing that makes us appear like we're in line with the trends. It's just that it's hurting someone else or the environment. So how do we encourage people to slow down and think through that? I mean, the first 2 things that come to mind are, first of all, slow down. Right? Like it's so easy, you can click through links from a particular influencer and just get there and you don't have to really consider whether you want to spend this money or not. Like it's so easy to do, right? So we can encourage people to put things in place that slow down their decision making. So it may be fast fashion, but don't make the fast decision to buy it. And if you force people to slow down and think about it, they might be less likely to take that step. We can also consider that in-group, out-group dynamics. People are more thoughtful about people they consider in their in-group. So how do we make the labor force in the fast fashion industry, the people who are actually like creating the clothing and working hard, how do we make them part of your in-group? Right? They're somewhere else in the world. You maybe don't think that they look like you or that your job is anything like their job. So we need to think about how to create a sort of common idea of maybe workers, right? We're all workers, so maybe we can feel some solidarity in that way. Or maybe we can emphasize like they're also young, like the people buying the fast fashion. So some way to make everyone an in-group instead of seeing people as an out-group. Aside from those, which are really like psychology-oriented answers, right? Slow thinking, in-group versus out-group. I think the fashion industry itself has kind of brainstormed a bit about how to use psychology to solve these problems. And one thing is maybe fair trade initiatives and sustainability initiatives and making sure you're using those labels correctly so that when people see, oh, this is fair trade, they feel like they are doing something good. They're not like, oh, well, maybe it means fair trade, but maybe it's just a label, right? So maybe more government regulation that somehow makes us all have more confidence in when we think we're making good decisions that we actually are helping the environment and it matters. The way social media marketing works could maybe be regulated too. The influencers, those click-through links, there may be ways to force people to slow down as opposed to counting on them to make that decision. Maybe just thinking about why people shop in general. Maybe it's not that you want to be on trend or popular. Maybe shopping fills some sort of need for belongingness or status or You think it will get people to like you more. So if we can encourage people to fill those needs in other ways and maybe help people fill those needs in other ways, they will be less inclined to buy this clothing. I mean, none of this is for sure, they're just all ideas.
So Ms. Highland made some great points just now, and I think now throughout this video we all have a better understanding of, okay, what is fast fashion and how does it detrimentally affect us and our community and our environment? Because really, sustainable fashion is the key to having a better fashion industry moving forward and the key to a better future. And we can reach that goal by slowing down our style.
Our goal with Slow Your Style was to provide our community members with information and education on the effect fast fashion has on the environment and the very negative aspects that the clothing we wear has on our earth that we live on. Climate change is a super big issue, so sometimes narrowing that down provides more ways for people to be actually able to have and implement change. And that was one of the things that our hope was with Slow Your Style, which was providing our community, additionally to information, with the opportunities to be able to make a difference in our community, but also for the entire world.